Hi everyone, Stropes here again, bringing you some more Karabast.net playtest gameplay videos. I'll do something a bit different this week. I think for the first video in the series, I usually try and stay on a deck for about 5 days, get used to it, play it, maybe make a few adjustments here and there, if you've never watched my channel before. But this week I'm going to do a quick, just like kind of like deck walkthrough, deck breakdown. I'm just to like ease people into it a little bit. So if you already know everything about this, you've seen Boba Blue, you've seen that kind of thing, you know how the deck works, you know exactly how it plays, great. Skip ahead, go right into the gameplay section. There should be chapter bookmarks in the description and in the video. Should be able to skip ahead pretty seamlessly. I think I'm going to walk through here on swoodb.com. I know you can generate like a deck image like this right here, but you can't zoom in on the cards when you do this, which makes it really hard to read. And this part is for people who may not know all of the cards and might need a little bit of a walkthrough as far as that goes. So I'm not going to go into like a whole lot of detail on it. I'm going to assume you know card game terminology like control, aggro, tempo, that kind of a thing. Boba Blue is just kind of a variation on blue-black control, just with the Boba yellow-black cards, which has like really fantastic cards, some of the best cards in the game. Cards like Fett's Fire Spray to lock out the game pretty quickly. And Boba Green, what you're doing is you're ramping to get to that point in the game so that you can skip turn 4, play your barrages, your really good 5-drops, 5 resource cards a turn early. In this deck, you're obviously unable to do that. There is no ramp in these colors, so what you're doing instead is you're just aiming to control. So it's just kind of a variation, like I said, on a control build. So we'll get down to the units down here. This is one of the only, I've been going through the top 4 decks from Orlando 5K, Cardabordia 4K, and Richmond 4K, and this is really the only other deck, like as far as top 4 goes, that is very different. There's a Loot Green deck from the Orlando 5K that I haven't gone to, but it's quite a while ago at this point, and I'm not sure that that version of the deck is really the best, so I don't know if I'm really going to go really deep into that unless there's another high placing ramp green build that is similar to that. It's kind of similar to what you see with Han. But as far as this deck goes, I was going to talk about Bib Fortuna. Usually don't see him all that much. I think he taps for an action, plays an event from your hand, costs 1 less. I think this will be pretty key for vigilance. These blue-black decks make use of vigilance to heal, and then you are usually healing and defeating if you're against aggro, because you choose 2 modes, and that helps you outlast until you can stabilize, get everything on the board. In a control mirror, you switch that up a bit and you go into the discard route, and then you try and win that way, try and mill the opponent out, get rid of their cards. So I'm assuming, since I have not played this, you'll be seeing it live when I get into my first match there. I'm assuming Bib Fortuna is to help us play those on turn 5. Since we're not in double blue with vigilance, it would cost 6, but Bib is letting us do it at least a little bit earlier than we otherwise would be able to. This build is running Boba Fett Disintegrator. I'm not entirely sure about that with the next card. Boba Fett is generally agreed to be the best 3-drop. It's a legendary. It can get rid of 6 health units. Very good. But in this specific build, due to Childson being in here, oftentimes what Childson is used for is to stop up the ground, hold up aggro, try and just keep damage off the base while you stabilize. It's its main purpose in blue-black control builds. So if you don't get all of your removal, or your removal's wasted, or you're only drawing units, you can plop your Childson, try and survive a little bit. You're basically just paying 4 to keep damage off of you. But The key thing with him is he's a 2/2, but you reveal up to four blue cards, and then you give him an experience for each one. So you really want to have a lot of blue cards, and the more Boba Disintegrators, the more Bibs, the more Greedos, the less blue cards for Childson. 4 is, he's not exactly really undercosted for what he does. Pretty balanced, pretty well costed. But to make the most of him, you need a whole bunch of blue. And really, outside of Childson and Dooku, those are the only blue ground units. This deck is running Bosk over Syndicate Lackeys. You could really make a case for either. They're just an ambush unit at 5. Bounty Hunter Crew, you sometimes see, most often in sideboards, brought back in against a control matchup because of its win plate ability. It allows you to return an event from your discard to your hand. So getting, again, we talked about vigilance, but getting this back will help you either to mill or outlast your opponent. If it's a mirror match, where you're milling each other out, you want to get back your restocks. I don't think this deck is actually running any restocks, not even in the sideboard, which is another thing that I might switch out if I go to make any changes. That's really the only way that you survive and control mirrors. In my experience, restock is a 1-cost card that lets you shuffle some cards, including itself, back on the bottom of your library. So when you combine it with these vigilances, you can kind of get a loop going. And it's pretty key in mirror matches where you're both trying to do that kind of a thing. It's playing Dooku, 2 copies of Dooku. Dooku's a pretty good unit top end. You don't have like a whole lot of options in these color combinations yet. I mean, Chimera is too expensive, doesn't have a win played. Dooku does have a win plate, gets rid of 4 or less, so you can even hit stuff like A-Wings, troublesome units in the air. It doesn't say it has to be ground, so pretty good there. Inferno 4, really great card. Played this way back when spoilers for the game were first coming out. Felt Table was a new thing. And all the cards, again, like, were not released yet. I was so excited when this card came out. Really great ability to help you dig, find more cards. Really, really great card here. Also a hit for Childson. I think we're going to see more hits for Childson in the air with this system. Patrolcraft is just like sort of an air version of Childson, where you're trying to keep damage off your base in response to a fire spray or something like that if they're trying to rush you. Fire spray, maybe another one of the best cards in the game, mostly because of its win played, because it says if you control Boba Fett or Jango Fett, leader or unit, it can be readied. So you can play it and it will come out ready and then deal the damage straight away while Boba's your leader. It really helps you close out. Avenger is a finisher in control. It's got a win played and on attack to defeat a non-leader unit. So really, you want to get rid of all of their units. So you play like a whole lot of removal most of the game. You're trying to keep the board pretty empty so that when you get up to here, you drop it and then you kind of lock them out of the game from there. As far as events go, make an opening, removal event. It also heals. This is really great in Boba mirrors where they're playing 7th fleets. It feels really good to run this into that because the -2 doesn't care about the shield, so you can get rid of their crafty smugglers and their 7th fleets with this real easy. Power of the Dark Side, key card in Iden Blue in all control matchups. Sometimes you have to grab the initiative. This happens more in Iden Blue because you don't have a lot of really low cost units that you're playing very many of, but sometimes it pays to immediately grab the initiative. They'll drop 1 unit, spend all their resources, and then you can get rid of it with just this card. Usually happens more earlier on, obviously because there's not so many units out, but can also really swing the game if you hit it late in the game. Waylay is just a really good tempo card. Bounce, if you're familiar with magic bounce effects, returns a unit to the hand. So if they play like they want to, let's say they play like spend all their resources on something like There's not a good example of that in here, right? Because a lot of these have on play, which is why these cards are used and why they're good, right? Like Avenger on play defeats something, Dooku on play defeats something. So really bouncing them doesn't feel quite so good, but sometimes, like if they're on Chimera or something a little off like that you don't see very often, if you bounce it, they're kind of out. Like a fire spray, I guess, would be a good example of that, because even though it's ready, if you respond with a waylay, they will not have time to attack with it because they can't replay it right away. So while they can replay it the next turn, it kind of time walks them. I think the waylay play against the fire spray key can be like a key strategy to win in that kind of a match. Takedown, just normal removal, defeating with 5 or less HP, great against Sabine because Sabine comes out with 5. Vigilance, we talked about quite a bit. And Vanquish is just your standard defeat a non-leader unit. Sometimes it's the only way to get rid of some of those larger units that don't have a, like you can't take down an Avenger too large. So you gotta save your Vanquishes for those. It does run 2 Devotion main board, which I'm more common with seeing like in the sideboards, but it gives you the unit +1 health, +1 attack, and on attack it restores 2. So really great card against aggro. If you think you've got a lot in your meta, putting it on an Inferno 4 is really what I do like 9 times out of 10 when I have it, because it also then will kill their A-Wing, so it kind of makes it like really hard for them to play in space. I think it's really great combination of cards if you are think that you're going to be running into aggro very much. Devotion plus Inferno 4 is a really great call there. And then the sideboard, no good to me dead, exhausts the ground unit, and then it can't be readied. So just a stall card. I have not been able to... This deck was originally made by Stephen Lee, second place in the Cardboardia 4K tournament. I have not found any interviews with him. I found a number of other people playing this deck or a version of it. Just kind of like a few weeks afterward, just like I'm doing. But none with him specifically, and I don't think that those really have used his specific deck either. I'm not sure exactly. That's just a long-winded way of saying I'm not sure exactly what you sideboard this in against. Maybe against decks that have larger units that you're trying to stall. Although sometimes this is fine against Sabine to use on a Sabine leader. I've done that before. Spark of Rebellion, this I'm assuming is just for the control mirror to get rid of their vigilances or their restocks. We saw this a lot. I have seen it for some months now. It's really like the only direct look at hand discard card right now. So people are using that because there's really no other way to do that. And it's worth it even out of aspect, sometimes at 6 to do that. Bodhi Rook, same deal. I think this sideboard here, this and there are really just for control, because Bodhi is similarly is used as an anti-control card to look at the opponent's hand and discard stuff. You've got another Bounty Hunter crew, so maybe again in a control mirror. I'm assuming the sideboard is all for control based on the cards that I'm looking. Change of Heart too, because you use Change of Heart, you take their... Sorry about that. That's something in my throat. You use that. Sorry about that break there. I just had a little bit of coughing, so I had to pause and come back. Like I was going over, just trying to catch my place again. Change of Heart is really good. You're using that against control to take their Avengers, their Star Destroyers, their larger units, because they're going to tap out on that turn. And then if you get it, right, like you can just like swing with it and win the game, right? So the only thing I see that hints that it might not be completely a control sideboard is this Super Laser Blast. That is usually a stabilization tool against aggro. There is no main deck Super Laser Blast, although I think this is probably slotted in maybe in the place of an Avenger to work against aggro. Although it seems to me every single other thing on here is for control mirrors. Although that no good to me dead is a little bit mystifying. The Devotion main deck signals anti-aggro, as do the main deck making openings. You'll usually see those in sideboards, aggro sideboard in blue or blue-black. But since they're main deck, like I said, leaning toward, I think this is main decked against aggro, sideboarded against control. But other than that, I think that is the main deck walkthrough. We'll get into some games here. Alright, match 1 will be against a Vader build. I'm thinking we need to switch out these cards, which I know were not meant to be in the main deck against that kind of a build. Let's take those out too. I just pre-sideboard because since these are basically best of 1, right? Not best of 3. Usually you just get in one game against someone, so pre-sideboarding makes sense to me. Don't know the etiquette on that exactly, but like I said, since most people quit after the first game, sideboarding before the game, when you see the leader combination, makes sense to me. So, this kind of Vader Control. Let's see what we're doing. It's just going to be like full-on removal against one another. Let's see. Do we like even want something to be playing here? Or are we just going to focus on removal? I think we're going to keep, but tentatively. Because they might have a... I guess they could be like Inferno. They could be on Infernos. They're probably on Stormtroopers, probably on Viper Probe Droids. And they probably, like, they'll have open fire and stuff. So we really want to probably claim here with this hand and just power them right away. And let's get rid of this and one of those. Yeah. So we'll claim, get rid of that. So they'll dig even more. But not really what we're concerned with right now. Okay, so here in this matchup, I mean, like, I don't even know if they're really going to be playing anything for us to be running Bosk into. Although it is nice to have the option to go like 4, 5, 6. But Fire Sprays are so good. But they also don't really hit for Children. So we don't want to keep both of these. I think we might want to keep a Bosk just in case they play a Probe Droid or something like that. So I'll resource the Fire Spray, even though I don't want to. Because we can't go like full unitless against them. We have like a ton of units, so it is different than Iden. I do like, I started with Vader, did a week of Vader, then I did Iden, then we did like Boba, and then we did like Sabine, so switching after like 5 days between like completely different archetypes, sometimes your brain gets a little frazzled. You get like a little bit of archetype whiplash or something like that. So trying to like adjust back into separate. I've been playing Sabine the last week about. I'm more used to that. There's Bodhi. He's the one we're really going to be playing on 5 now. So we'll get rid of that Bosk. The Children will only be a 4/4, which is not probably so scary to them that they'll feel like they absolutely have to remove it. But at the same time, we kind of need to do something here. And at least this way, Chilton will take care of this wing guard. I have not seen a wing guard in these lists. I do not believe it was in the original 5K Vader build, and it was definitely not in the Cardboardia 4K build, main deck or sideboard, so that is new. But I want to keep both of these Bodhies, to be honest. This Bounty Hunter crew could come in clutch later for like vigilances if we get into that kind of a mirror. But having the two Bodhies is maybe too much to pass up. Especially at this point, it's not like I've got vigilances there that I'm trying to get back. Like if I had one, I think I would consider it, but without them, not really considering it. I'm assuming they're just going to open fire. Okay, they're going to power. So what we'll do is we're going to, I think we're going to just Bodhi them and then Boba. Let's get rid of that 2. Okay, so they could take down. Okay. Do I see? I should see their full hand. Okay, this is showing me which ones I can discard. So they got a defense walker, which can come out next turn. They've got their own Childson. They've got the barrage. I think we got to get rid of this barrage. Although they can just take down our Boba next turn. Yuck. But at least they'll spend their turn doing that. Right. So they'll claim, we'll pass. 2 Greedos. Alright, so this turn we can fire spray, but again, I wonder if we should have claimed there. Maybe I made a misplay. My head's not really in the game so much. I think because we could have, there might have been a scenario wherein we could have claimed and then Bodhied again right away to get rid of the takedown, which might have been the better option there. On 2, they can't power us, so I'm kind of leaning towards the fire spray just to get the damage in. And that way we can use Bodhi to protect it next turn if we claim. But, I mean, they're probably just going to claim here and keep removing stuff. So maybe I should just claim instead of hitting with it. They'll have to name the card. They named Vanquish. Okay. Yeah, man. I'll hit. We'll attack. It's hard to know. I don't even think this deck plays like surprise strikes, so it's not like we can get in for 8 out of nowhere. Maybe I'll slot those in a minute. Seems like that's the kind of thing we would want. And these bibs I think are just kind of there to get to vigilance sooner. We can waylay. They didn't name waylay. They kind of like, I guess they're like, oh, they know we have that. That's why. Okay. We'll just hit again. We can waylay that at least. Vader comes out this turn though. That's a bigger problem. Maybe we waylay this we can. We're almost into a scenario where we could waylay our own fire spray. I mean, that governor we might have to get rid of at some point. Let's Bodhi here. Doesn't? Okay, they have no events, which is alright, I guess. They have a Palpatine, though, which will get everything else once they play it. Although, if we claim here... Yeah, they're gonna one-sided board wipe us with Palpatine. We'll have them at like half health. And while that governor's out, we can't do anything. We'll claim... Well, I mean, we can do some stuff, but we can't even, like, vanquish that Palpatine, because we're just going to get in for 5, which was, half health. And Palpatine will zap everybody. This Vigilance cannot get rid of that other stuff. So maybe we get rid of that Greedo. We can Chilton at 5. After Palpatine kills everybody to keep some damage off the base. And then Vigilance Vader. If they run Vader into there, which I think they will. So we'll see Palpatine here. There he is. So the 6 will exactly kill everybody else. And then we'll Chilton. And they will run Vader into it. And then I guess we like Vigilance next turn. So we're just like trying not to die. And then see what we can stick. Their top end is also Avengers. I'm assuming they'll have 3 of them. This deck's a little tricky to pilot in the sense of, I mean, it's not like completely unitless control like I'm used to with Iden. So you are trying to stick units, but it's like when you stick the units, like a Bodhi there, because you're just trying to like, my thought process, at least for like playing him at that point, was to, did they like walk back? They did. Cade, weird. Okay. They're undoing their actions. Again, I know I talk about it off and on. Maybe too much. Maybe it's not off and on. Maybe it's all the time. But I don't really know the queue to get in or the lobbies to get in so that people can't just undo all their actions all the time. I've been in each type of lobby and I don't know. So if you know, drop it in the comments. I can't figure out the lobby for where people can't just undo everything over and over. And maybe you just can in every lobby, but then I don't know what the difference between the lobbies is. Like, why is there a distinction between them if you can just do that in each of them? What did they do? They claimed. Okay. Sure. We can also vanquish. Yeah, it also like messes with like the play pattern, like the claiming, they walk back their turn, and especially like with the action economy, just like taking back specific stuff is just like weird. Okay, let's see. Now's the Palpatine. Now, let's see. Okay. Sure. I can take down that, which I think is what I'm doing. Yeah. So they have to like run Vader into me. And I can still Vigilance here, so. Which will get rid of the Vader. And then I can heal. Although I'd really like to get rid of this really annoying regional governor, because then I can actually play my Vanquish. Because if they keep that out, and I can't get rid of her with Vigilance, it's like right out of my range. Although, if they're on Academy Walkers, are they like maybe not on something else? They claimed initiative. Okie dokie. Fine by me. Let's get rid of that governor then. Oh, they undid their last action again. I should be able to attack this. I don't know why they're like undoing their actions. They shouldn't be able to do that. Okay, so now I could still Vigilance and I could heal, or I can like pass, I think. Oh, because they want to run Palpatine into there instead of Vader because they're worried about it. But I could give my Childson a shield and heal, which is maybe what I'll do. Let's do shield and then heal. Okay. Which puts us in a pretty good spot at 3. And we can Avenger here. This Bosk, I don't really want to run that Bosk into that Palpatine. But I think we're just going to stop resourcing though. Man, if that Childson, if only they were a 6/6. We'll do... Okay. Did it like auto? Weird. Whoa. Oh, they played their own. Okay. So then we'll claim... That was like real quick. Click, click, click. Okay. So then we'll claim... And then we're looking for our own Avenger again, although we can vanquish their Avenger. Gonna heal their base. We can also Vigilance Vader at this point, so we don't want to be... Okay, Spark. Oof. Okay, we can also like Childson. We gotta vanquish. And then we want a Spark, I think. So let's resource that boss, because we need both, because the Spark costs us 6, the Vanquish costs us 5, which is exactly 11. So we want to vanquish that real quick, and then hope they don't have another one. I wonder what they're running, yeah, in this slot. Huh. If they're on Avengers. Usually you see 3 Avenger, 3 Palpatine on the top end, but let's see. Okay, so then we'll Spark them and get rid of this other Avenger. Okay, so that's 2 of them. So there may be one more. We'll claim. Hope we, again... There's one in there. Man, I hope I didn't put both Avengers in there. That would be like annoying. But I think we've got Dooku should get rid of him too. No more resourcing. We can power here. Although they've got like an AT-AT suppressor. You'd hit like 5. Ugh. I'm just trying to think, like, we could Childson 3, but then Vader doesn't die. The devotion is healing them. I kind of got to do that. They've also main deck devotion, although maybe they didn't. Maybe they pre-sideboarded too. Because I know that devotion was in the sideboard of the Cardboardia 4K. Let's see. Do we just want to play a bib? What else do we even have? We'll just claim here. They can play whatever they like. They're also on AT-AT suppressors. That is kind of odd top end there. Especially if they've got 3 Avengers. Like really, really top heavy. We'll pass. So they're gonna have like a much bigger Childson. It's kind of my if you didn't skip my intro, I talked a little bit about Childson needing lots of blue cards, and this is kind of like my worry with that here is like we can't get our Childson up to 5 or 6 because we got so many other stuff in the deck. I know I slotted in these sparks, but main deck there's almost no blue units on the ground comparatively. In any case, we could take down here. We can take down and spark again. So it's whether we just want to hold off the 5. I don't think it's as important to hold off the 5 since we're not in danger of dying. And I would rather get whatever the big card is from them before that. Okay, so we'll take down there. So we got that, which is fine. We probably have our own. It'll be like dueling patrol crafts. Okay, Avenger. Exactly what we are looking for. I think, let me see, how many powers have they? Just one? I think they got a power in hand too, right? So, man, does it keep track here? I didn't actually make a very good mental note because I thought it would keep it here, like, this does, but it didn't look like it did, so we may be having to bait them out of their powers or something. So let's just try and drop some stuff to make them interact with us a little bit. I let them draw 3. They can deal the damage to Boba. Sure. But I don't want to reveal the stuff to them. With Childson. Let's see. But they're going to definitely be hitting us with that patrol craft. So maybe we'll play that. And then, I mean, I might be tempted to if I could get that Childson up to a 3-3 or a 4-4. I mean, like, more than a 3-3. Because I don't just want to only reveal the Avenger. I mean, they're going to ping, sure. And then open fire. Okay, so using lots of their removal on that. Again, we're just kind of like looking for the units. We can mill. I mean, we can take down. We'll just pass. Since we have initiative, we're gonna take down first. And then maybe we'll drop Childson showing a vigilance and hide our Avenger from them. Okay, so there's their suppressor. So maybe we claim here and then Avenger into them. They've got so many. This is like a pretty greedy deck with all the top end stuff. I mean, fine against us, I guess. I wonder how their deck does against aggro. Maybe alright with all this healing, I guess. But a whole lot of like really expensive stuff. Also, bounce it. We'll pass. Let's see. Wonder if we should bounce and then Childson to try and bait their power, or whether it's worth it to. It might be worth it, like with the Avenger. We'll just Avenger. Because I'm not sure they'd fall for that anyway. And we can stick a Greedo, which will stick 3 out. Okay. What did they? Okay, yeah, because this is their last Avenger. Okay. Man, they have 3 Avengers. 2... They probably have 3 suppressors, and like probably 3 of those. Or maybe they just have less Palpatines or something? What is going on there? We can't Greedo and Waylay, so let's claim. Alright, let's look through here. Do they have all of our... We know that all of our Avengers are gone. They don't know that. 2 of our powers. Did I resource the other one? Nope. So we're kind of looking for that last power. What else can we do? Repair. Okay. Is it like mill them and try and bounce? We still have a Dooku, but like that's not gonna do anything. Just trying to like stick stuff. Okay. We want to waylay that. That is... Okay. We need to go up to 12 so that we can do that. 1, 2, 3. And that's 9. Although that's still not enough. Might have been a waste. Maybe we should have put that patrol craft. We'll waylay that. And then if they want to play it, we can heal. We can like double heal here. We're going to put the Childson. Let's just do heal and mill. What do they have in here? What is this stuff? Like 2 Dookus, 2 suppressors, 3 Avengers, 2 defense walkers. Alright. Are they gonna vigilance us? Or is that just us? No, okay. So they're not even like on vigilance, doesn't look like. So we can play the Childson or something to like, or we can just like claim. I think we're just gonna claim because we can heal and mill again. Did I resource any of these already though? Or I already used one. Oh yeah, to stabilize. Okay. So we'll pass. And then vigilance them again. Or do we Childson for a 6/6? Maybe we Childson for a 6/6. They play Avenger. Then we play vigilance again. Does that like, that doesn't like, I'm just trying to keep the damage off of our base though. I mean, they won't have any cards in deck here in a second. So then it's just us against exactly what they have left. Yeah, okay, so we can see the rest of their deck. Wow, 2 Palpa, 3 suppressors. Okay. We'll play an Inferno 4 so we can at least dig here. If they Avenger us. Which they do. So, nope. And nope. Oh wait, no, they haven't yet. That's just his on-play ability. So if they play Avenger, we can dig for 2 more. Which might kind of help in the sense of we should have another power in there. Are they gonna Dooku? Okay. So we do. And we've got this fire spray. So we'll leave. Actually, let me do some math here though. Because we should have 3 vanquishes. 3 takedowns. We've only got 1 in there, so we have like 1 more in the deck. So we want this on the bottom, and then we want this on the top to be keeping some of this damage off. If we claim, we power them right away. Oh, but we need that power for the... man. We'll claim here. We need that power. Need to save that power for like Avenger. Ooh, we can change of heart it though. Right. Okay. So we can change of heart it for like what's left. We could also play this chilled sin. 1, 2, 3. Let's do the chilled sin and reveal. How many turns do we need to survive? They're taking like 6 a turn. Let's do power. Assuming they'll get rid of Dooku. I guess we maybe shouldn't have chilled send until we had like one more. Let's claim. And then hopefully they like Avenger now to try and like lock us out. Okay, they do. So we can change of heart that Avenger right away. But where's like our vanquishes and stuff? We have 2 more, right? Oh no, not if they drop the wing guard. What the heck? Where's the other? Oh man. These are not the things we need. These are not the cards we're looking for. Alright. Because now they can just sacrifice that wing guard. Like any removal would have been better than this. Like anything at all. I think that puts them at 24 though. I think, yeah, so I think that change of heart did it though. He came down to the wire there because I don't think they'll be able to deal that last 3 and they'll take 6 from not having any cards. Let's see, but I'm trying to like maximize here in any case. Because if we claim patrol craft, I'm assuming they'll just claim. They should take 6. It's so effing close. Yeah. Don't they deal the damage to the thing? No. What do they say? They expected to be able to target their own unit, kill, and ping. Didn't see it was to an enemy unit only. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they had an out there. It looks like they were trying to I am your father, their own unit. But I don't really know is like how that tell me in the comments if you see like how that would have helped them out. I am your father only deals 7, so it's not like they can do the Avenger, and while I have control of the Avenger, I think maybe they meant their wing guard. They want to deal the damage to wing guard. and then ping me somehow. I don't really know how they thought that that would work with I Am Your Father. Let me know. It's kind of mystifying to me. In any case, even if they hadn't done that, as soon as it went to their turn, they would have died from the zap, I believe, from their deck being empty. So really close game there. Really tight. It was really fun back and forth there. So a good game to Cade Lane or Cade Lanny, whoever it is. Great game there, really fun. But I think that will be all for today. If you stuck around this long, you're a champ. Thank you. If you like this kind of video, be sure to like and subscribe. I post this kind of video every day or so with new gameplay, so love to see you in the future. But thank you for watching. See you later.